I'm Rob from HopZine.com. Thanks for joining me for another video beer review. This time we're looking at something you don't see very often on my channel. It's a bottle of beer from the Black Sheep Brewery in Masham, North Yorkshire. It's a bottle of their, when it focuses, the Imperial Russian Stout, 8.5% ABV. I remember when this came out, maybe about a year and a half ago. It was a one-off, then it became seasonal, and I picked this up obviously just in the new year. It's February as we speak now, and I think they released this at the back end of the year. Good idea. I mean, it's something different, something a bit bigger, something that's going to appeal to for that like Christmas kind of present market for your uncle, your granddad, or your dad, or whatever. That male relative you don't really know. Buy him some beer. Usually works. But I remember there being a big fuss about this when it first done. You mean it's Black Sheep, decent size, regional brewery in the north of England. Brew some unremarkable beer, if I may say. A lot of people love it. People do love it, especially if you go out in the Dales and things like that. It's everywhere. People go crazy for it. So fair play to them. They've cornered the market. And I think they're one of the beers that when you think of kind of real ale, one of the success stories of that kind of thing. Fair play to them. It's not what I go for most of the time, but when you bring out an Imperial Stout, I'm intrigued. So let's get in this glass. Let's see what we're looking at. It's pouring quite thin. It is 8.5, so I'm not expecting kind of like even more Jesus or kind of like 5 Stone Walker Parabola or Stone Imperial Russian Stout and things like that. But it looked poured thin. Let's see what it tastes like that. That's going to tell me all about the mouthfeel. As far as the appearance goes, spot on. Black as night, a real shiny black beer. Perfect looking beer actually. The head, relatively pale for a beer this dark. It's a real kind of like ash coloured kind of creamy looking head. Dark, kind of like a warm grey I'd say. So let's check out the aroma. That's okay. It's okay. It's definitely edging towards the side of things like licorice. Quite a lot of licorice. Red apple. Look to the beers, which is probably a lineage to this. Something like Rigwelter. Definitely loads of that kind of Kentish strong ale, British strong ale kind of like character, where you get a lot of sugary sweetness and those kind of bruised red apple core. There's a hint of marzipan. It does. It's slightly kind of autumnal leaf. There's not a hell of a lot going on. When you think of being Imperial Stout nowadays, I think this is edging more towards that kind of British strong ale, as I said, Kentish strong ale. Look towards beers like Bishop's Finger, 1698 I think it is, and then like certain beers from kind of Fuller's Vintage Ale, Golden Pride, those kind of things. I think you're edging closer to them than you are an Imperial Stout as far as the aroma goes. But there's one thing that's going to prove me wrong or right is to have a taste. So let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah. It's not my taste. That doesn't taste like stout. That tastes like strong Rigwelter. Doesn't taste like stout at all. Once again, you get low. It's continuing where it started off. It's super dry, which is weird. Lacks sweetness. The flavours that are prominent are licorice, without a doubt, and then big time that red apple. That's massive. And it lingers, it hangs around. I mean, that's massively disappointing. That's not an Imperial Stout whatsoever. Where's your... I mean, look, I mean, I know... Well, I'm going to put this down. Okay, if you look at a beer like Old Rasputin from North Coast in the US, which is a very good beer, that definitely edges towards those kind of raisin, as this does, the raisin, red apple, licorice kind of thing. But this is where that starts and ends. It doesn't go beyond that. The roasted malt character is completely non-existent. Very, very low. You're getting kind of sweeter flavours from kind of crystal malts, maybe a pale chocolate malt, something like that. For this, you want like roasted barley, black malt, brown malt, things like black pattern malt, that kind of thing. You need something with a bit of something about it. You need a bit more kind of roasted coffee, chocolate. You need that in this kind of beer. It's laying itself down. It really is. I mean, if I'm a fair weather home brewer. I haven't brewed for a while. I mean, I'm a lazy bastard. But if I brewed an Imperial Stout and it turned out like this beer, I'd be massively disappointed, because this is not Imperial Stout. This is a dark, strong ale. The fact that it puts Imperial Stout on that is an absolute farce. I'm not saying this by kind of modern standards. Go and look at what Fuller's did recently with their collaboration with Melissa Cole. Probably pulled out of a historical recipe. Colonel's Imperial Brown Stout, based on an old, I think probably an old Barclay Perkins recipe, unearthed by Ron Patterson. Absolutely incredible. One of the best beers brewed in this country, based on a historical recipe. There's no excuse for this. This is taking a beer, a strong beer, maybe adding a bit of colour in it. I don't think there is. I don't like to say things like that. Probably isn't. It says there isn't. I'll give him a fair shake on that one. But I mean, it's dark. How do you extract so little dark malt flavour in a beer that dark? Baffles me. Why would you want to extract so little flavour from a beer that dark? Baffles me. Why? Why does this exist? It's not bad beer, but it's not a stout. It's not an Imperial Stout. It's not a stout. It's not even a porter. It lacks so much. They can barely call it a stout, porter, or whatever. I've had higher roast flavours in a mild. It's as I said at the start, it's that Kentish strong ale. It's a British strong ale. It's definitely along those lines. If you'd have said this to me was kind of Imperial Rigweller, fair play, because that's what it delivers. And that's all it delivers. This is not a stout. This is an acceptable, strong English ale. It's not a stout. Take that. Well, I'm going to say this now. Take that off them. Don't put that label on this beer, because that's not what it is. I feel slightly robbed. I was hoping for something a bit more. It's just a bit. It's just not there. Varnish. It's just not there. That slight hint of chocolate. Not even a slight hint of chocolate or coffee is in there, or kind of like those kind of slightly more acrid, charcoaly burnt notes. It's not in there. It's sweet, it's average, it's apples, and it's not up to scratch. Saying that, it's not a bad beer, but the problem is it's just not what it says on the tin. It frustrates me massively when you're going to say this is this and this is certainly not that. If you like strong English beers, check it out, you probably enjoy it. But if you try this and you're hoping for an Imperial Stout, no way at all. That's a bottle of Black Sheep's Imperial Russian Stout, 8.5% ABV. Doesn't taste a little bit like Imperial Stout whatsoever. Anyway, I'm Rob from HopZine.com. Next time you see me drink a stout, I'm going to tell you it's going to have coffee, it's going to have chocolate, it's going to have espresso, it's going to have molasses, it's going to have all that good stuff. It's not going to be like this. Can't win them all. See you next time. Cheers.